Hi, I'm Jason Kniola. I'm a licensed mental health counselor and licensed clinical addictions counselor. I also have specialized training in using mindfulness to work with issues such as anxiety, depression, stress, relationship issues, and much more. And this is the first of a three-part video series on using mindfulness techniques to help work with some of these issues and many more. So in this video, I'm going to first describe something called the automatic pilot mind, describe a bit about mindfulness, and we'll also practice a mindfulness technique called following the breath. Then in video 2, we'll progress to using first the breath mindfulness method, then a body scan method to deepen into our felt sense of the body. And then finally in video 3, we'll be using the first two techniques and also deepening into all of the senses to really get in touch with the present moment in a much deeper way. So to begin, let's describe what this automatic pilot mind is. So in our day-to-day functions, our minds work very automatically. That is, we don't really have to pay attention much to how our minds work. So automatically our minds label things as we see them out in the world, cars, trucks, stoplights, other people. We label other people and situations, and this is all just an automatic process. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing that our minds do this automatically. It saves a lot of time, and just we don't really have to pay attention as we get things done that we need to get done throughout the day. However, it can be problematic in that in the automatic pilot mind, there could be some things going on underneath that we're not aware of. There's certain thoughts and certain beliefs that can lead to anxiety, depression, increased stress, or relationship issues, and we're not even aware of what's underneath, what's going on in our day-to-day lives. So there are times that we need to slow down and pay attention on purpose. So when we do that, when we slow down away from automatic pilot mind and pay attention to the present moment on purpose, this is called mindfulness. And again, how this works to help some of these things is by paying attention on purpose, we can begin to be more aware of what's going on underneath. And then when we're more aware of something, then we can work with that issue. So in this first session, we're going to do our breath awareness exercise. Now, the reason we use breath is because breath is always with us. As long as we're alive, we're breathing in and we're breathing out. Now, breath is an interesting function because it can be either automatic pilot or it can be on purpose. So it's a bridge between these two modes of being in our mind. So automatic pilot, we've been breathing this whole time that I've been describing this video and the sessions to come. And we haven't really been paying much attention to the breath. But now let's take a moment to really pay attention and feel into the breath. So we do that first by turning our attention to the breath in a way that we can really experience it. We can experience it through the feeling of the breath. So let's go ahead and do that. So you might want to close your eyes or keep your eyes gazing downward a little bit. And really feel the next time you breathe in. Just notice what that feels like. You might want to tune in at the nostrils as the air enters through the nostrils. You can feel as the breath comes in. And now feel as the breath comes in and goes out. We're tuning in to the entire cycle of the breath. Now, as we begin to pay attention to the breath, the automatic pilot mind continues to do its job. We've been training the automatic pilot mind to do its work for a long time. And so it keeps doing its job. So what we might find is that when we pay attention to the breath, then we're drawn back into automatic mind through thoughts about ourselves, thoughts about others, thoughts about the past, thoughts about the future. So as soon as we pay attention to the breath and really feel into breath, we find that we're in thought again. So this practice is to, whenever we notice we're in thought again, just let go of that thought and come into breath. So we might find ourselves going back and forth and back and forth. And so it's not about getting stressed out about this or adding it to another to-do list and creating pressure for ourselves. This is about just noticing, becoming aware as we tune into the breath, and as we get lost in thought again, we start to notice what thoughts are there. We start to notice how often we are in those thoughts. And then we come back to the breath. So let's do that again. Let's come back to the breath fully. Really paying attention to the feeling of the breath as it enters. And the breath as it exits. Really tuning into the feeling of the breath, wherever we can get in touch with that in our bodies. Just feel what an in-breath feels like. Feel what an out-breath feels like. When you notice a thought come, just notice that and come back to the breath. Breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. Okay, good. So that's our first exercise, is following the breath. You can also check out my other YouTube video that is 10 minutes of just a breath meditation to deepen that experience. And you can also join me for video number 2, where we'll recap automatic mind, mindfulness, and the breath meditation, and then work with a body scan meditation that really helps us connect with the felt sense of the body. In video 3, we're going to do our first 2 exercises, but then also tune into all of our senses to really deepen into the experience of the present moment. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.